Yo, gotta get my light going. That's the one I like right there. That's the one I like right there. Shout out to Rude Boy's artwork. I love this shirt. This is my new favorite shirt, okay? I'm gonna just sleep in it too, because it's got the vibes. I got the vibes. You feel what I'm saying? I got the vibes. Also, big shout out to Lewis Gibson doing the damn thing and doing what a doski up in Philadelphia. Y'all stay tuned. But in the meantime, while I have downtime, let's get into it. Chapter number 2, sex industry grooming. So today is August the 11th, 2025. Okay, August the 11th, Monday, 2025. You know, and I'm not gonna make this a real long video, but I do want to start talking about these things because it's all gas, no brakes, right, bro? So let's get into it. Absolutely. You always shout out. We'll get into that too. Shout out to Deshaun Moore, king shit. You feel me? You know, I'm always gonna support you, brother. Always. So 17 years old, aspirations of being a rock star. Okay. I had just gotten my GED. Okay. Had just started really getting into playing my guitar, and I was sitting around a pool one day, me and 2 of my homegirls, and there were 3 of us. There were 3 of us that were chosen. Okay, 2 of us went in, and 2 of us are still alive. Let me say that again. There were 3 of us that were chosen. 2 of us went in. 2 of us, woo, Jesus, 2 of us are still alive. Okay, so we went through it together. You know, and God bless and rest in peace to the other 2, the other one and the other one. Okay, so you know, we were chosen. And again, like I said, at 17 years old, you couldn't tell me shit. You could not tell me shit. I was grown. I was grown at 13. Okay. So when I talk about this, you know, there were times where I was a victim, but there were plenty of times where I made my own damn decisions. And even though I have no regrets, you know, it kind of sucks that I was on the path of really taking my music career to the next level. Had just recorded my first 2 songs. I was playing acoustic, and I still play acoustic guitar, not as well as I would, of course, and writing my own music, you know, and had just recorded my first 2 songs. I still have those 2 songs. And so we were sitting around the pool one night. It had to have been close to my birthday. My homegirl got me this really pretty green 2-piece bathing suit. And, you know, it was like my first legitimate 2-piece bathing suit. I thought I was fat. I will post pictures of me right before my 17th birthday, y'all. I had just gotten out of boot camp. Okay, so I thought I was fat, but in fact, my homegirls were just a size 0 to 4, some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, I was probably like a 10. So it had to have been close to my birthday. Had to have been summertime. We were sitting around the pool. It was at night because that was my nighttime bathing suit. And we were approached by a couple of men, you know, and of course we befriended them because that's what we did back in the day, you know. Who didn't? That's when it was appropriate to do so. And of course, I was 17. I was grown, couldn't tell me shit. Had just turned 17, mind you. So when I say grooming, I mean literally there was a process. There was a process of clearly people had been watching us. Clearly we were approached multiple times, and kind of given the word like, hey, you have this opportunity. It's like getting an invitation. Congratulations, you just won a millionaire invitation. Shout out to Timbaland. Okay, so yeah, and Dr. Dre, you just won a millionaire invitation. So anyway, we were chosen, and one of us decided that she was going to disconnect from the other two of us, while the other two of us decided that we were going to move forward with becoming a sex industry worker, also known as a escort. So they took me then at that point in time and really wanted me to just sit and play guitar, you know, and also were, it was literally like class. We would have class, like, okay, well, girls, you know, this is how you act, this is what men want, so on and so forth. You know, this is what you need to look like, this is what color your hair needs to be, these are the type of clothes you need to wear. You know, this is what I did in Las Vegas. It was like a training course. And through that training course, you know, I was watching a video the other day about a woman who is still in the sex industry. She does porn. I believe Bunny XO, shout out Bunny XO, was interviewing her, you know, and she was talking about this new STD. It's like an inflammation of the insides from sex toys and things of that nature. And, you know, when you have that and you're in that industry now, what they do, they put bands on you. Okay. They put bands on you. So say you're in a group of females and, you know, you're in recovery from whatever may be going on. And if you are, they put a red band on you. And if you are not, then they have a green band on you, you know, just while you're recovering. Because, yes, testing occurs. And when I say testing, I mean literal STD testing. And we were also taken to have literal STD testing done because of the caliber of business that this person was running. And the reason I say it that way is because now, OnlyFans, it's legal. It's a business. In Las Vegas, it's legal. It's a business. In Amsterdam, legal. It's a business. At that point in time, underground. Totally underground. Again, you know, yeah, it got to a forceful level with me, but this is in the beginning stages when I was being groomed. And of course, I'm the type of female to this day, I don't like to sit and take commands very well. And so, they really wanted me to focus on my music, but I really wanted money. And, I just remember getting really, really upset when the man who owned the business, you know, took my other friend on a private dinner, and I, you know, I don't want to say I threw a fit, but I was like, okay, well, I'm in this too, so you're taking me with you. And I did, and of course, you know, they again tried to kind of say, well, we could take you, we taking girls and turning them into track stars. And of course, at that point in time, I'm thinking like, okay, you just turning us into high-end escorts, but really, I could have pursued my music career at that point in time, but I chose money over music career, because it was a lot of money. So the other side of the grooming that we went through was literally how can I say this? How to not get an STD. We'll say it that way. Okay. So a big part of our grooming was how to not get an STD. And, you know, that side of things, aside from the risk of working in the sex industry, because things happen, you know. Condoms are not always foolproof, you know, but there's other ways to go about doing things, and we were taught how to do these things, and that in itself was very, very dangerous. You know, I've had guns held to my head. I have been chased, you know, out of homes before due to certain techniques that I was taught as an escort in the sex industry. You know, I was the girl that men would call when they would leave the strip clubs, you know. So with all that being said, you know, again, rest in peace to my other amigo. I just want to have a moment of silence for her, because she didn't make it. She didn't make it. So, yeah, man. It was a lot. It was a lot. And again, you know, I don't want to make this a very long, drawn out thing, even though I am now able to be more candid about the truth behind my story. And there is truth to other stories as well. And of course, this was like, you know, the carrot on the stick. Hey, if you do ABC, XYZ, then you're going to have 1, 2, 3. And for the most part, yeah. But at the end of the day, when I was finally established with, I guess, whoever I was supposed to be established with, it was a disaster. So, you know, but there was training. There was training. The picture that I posted, let's talk about that picture for a minute. I posted a picture of me standing in a motel room mirror. You know, I usually was not just at one place, but that's also another story for another day. And we'll talk about that picture for a minute. That picture was right before my arrest. So if you want to do the math of how long that process took to really get me to a submissive place to where I was willing to take commands and I was willing to do whatever it took to protect whoever I was with. It took years. It took years, and it really had a mental toll on me. At the end of everything, it really, really took its toll on me. Let's talk about the other picture I posted from 2 years ago. You know, I was concerned coming into the underground because I'm already a woman in a man's world, and I'm what you would consider a white woman in a black culture. And so I was already very, very apprehensive about doing that. But you can look and you can tell, you know, and a lot of people, and of course, this is not when I was in the sex industry. It's been 13 years. But you can tell because it's like people have known me and people know who I am, but people never knew. Because I wasn't ready to speak until now. Because I felt like it was going to be something that was going to be shameful for me, but I'm actually finding this to be very, very magical. Very magical. So that's chapter 2. You know, if you want to hear more about my story, please contact me. You can find me on all platforms at Mimsy MC on all platforms. And you can always reach me on Messenger is the easiest way to reach me. Again, believe it or not, this is still very, very surface level, even though I'm being more candid about the chapters of my book. And this just happens to be one of them. The reason I'm calling it lipstick on the mirror is because it was like everything after grooming for me was a ritual. You know, when I put on fresh makeup and I put on my lips, it was a ritual for me to kiss myself in the mirror, you know, and I would have something positive written, an affirmation written in lipstick on my mirrors. Everywhere I was, it was an affirmation, you know, you're beautiful, never forget, you know, and then there would be lip kisses on the mirror. And so that's why I'm calling this lipstick on the mirror, because that was one of my rituals. Every time I went to a new place, I would draw a positive affirmation in lipstick on my mirror. And with each new set of lipstick that I would put on in that mirror, I would kiss the mirror, just to remind myself of the affirmation, whether it was protection, or just reminding myself that I was beautiful, reminding myself that I was loved, reminding myself that I was safe. It was always there. Lipstick on the mirror. So again, if you want to know more, holler at me. I'm open for interviews, and looking forward to meeting Bunny XO. So I will holler at y'all later. Everybody be blessed. Everybody stay safe. And I love you guys. Bye.